Hello, welcome to Living and Learning. I'm Allison Kinnear. Every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I jump on Facebook Live and give a little talk. Just tell a story or talk about things that are happening. And for the month of July, I am talking about having difficult conversations. So what's interesting is that yesterday I was at Microsoft giving 2 3-hour trainings back to back, so 6 hours worth of training on having difficult conversations. And what's interesting is that I was traveling in California, Thursday until Sunday morning. And while I was at this conference, this kind of business development conference, I strained my voice. We were doing some exercises and I overused my voice. And I noticed it the moment it happened. I noticed when I had strained myself too far, and I just immediately felt like this deep exhaustion. And I was like, wow, I'm really tired. And yet my mind overruled my exhaustion and just kept pushing. And I was like, well, just keep going. And so I did. So I strained my voice even more. And then come Sunday morning, my voice was really hoarse. And I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. It would have been okay. And then as Sunday wore on, I realized, ooh, I am not feeling well. I'm actually really worn down, and my voice is, instead of recovering like I expected it would, it started to fade away even more. Hello, Allie. Hello, Mom. Welcome back. So I woke up Monday and I was a little bit nervous because come Tuesday, I had 6 hours worth of training to deliver on having difficult conversations. And I realized, I had one meeting Monday morning, and by the end of it, I was already starting to lose my voice. And I thought, wow, this is the one time that, I'm ready. I'm ready for the day. I have all the content. I have everything ready, and I need my voice. So the reason why I want to talk to you about this when it comes to having difficult conversations is that, yes, there was something physical that strained my voice, and I want to tell you a little bit about what I did, but I also think about how this applies metaphorically. The times that we lose our voice when it comes to having difficult conversations, the times we back out of a conversation where we leave things with things left unsaid, because it impacts us both physically and it can impact us metaphorically. So let me tell you first what I did for those of you who don't know. I immediately after my morning meeting on Monday, I realized I need to stop talking. I need to rest my voice. And so for the rest of the day, I barely communicated with my kids. Thank goodness they both can read. I spent the whole day just writing or typing out my communications. The rest of the time was silent. I also did radical self-care. Not only was it radical to not speak all day, especially when you have 2 young children, but it was also radical self-care in terms of taking a bath, drinking lots of tea, drinking lots of water, being really mindful about what I put into my body and if it's going to irritate my throat, eating really healthily so that I can support my immune system to recover more quickly. I also took a nap. I slept. I took, I did everything that I possibly could to restore health to my body so that it could be physically able to do the job that it needed to do yesterday. And not only did I need to speak yesterday, but I needed to speak for 6 hours, which meant I needed stamina. So it was a day of radically stopping everything that I would normally have done that day and really focusing in on doing everything I could to boost my immune system, to take care of my vocal cords, and to also boost my emotional state. So the other thing I did is I reached out. I put out on Facebook, I said, look, I've got a problem. I've got an exciting opportunity. I'm speaking at Microsoft. Yay. And I have a big challenge. I mostly lost my voice. And so what I would appreciate from all of you is love and prayers and anything that you have to offer. I'm here to receive. Now I'll tell you, identifying that I have a problem, practicing, like really practicing radical self-care, asking for help and support, and receiving that help and support are obstacles that in the past, any one of those things would have derailed me. Any one of those things would have been really hard to do. To practice self-care, to ask for what I need, to receive it, all of those things would have been really challenging, let alone doing them all together. And so I spent the day just receiving. I know energy healers, and I could feel like my throat tingling. And I'm sure I know people were praying and sending prayers and sending positive energy my way to heal. And guess what? I was able to do the whole training. Everything worked out beautifully. So thank you to everyone who thought about me yesterday and sent me those good vibes. And to me, this is a story about what happens on the physical level, but it also has indications for our metaphorical when we silence our voices, when we are not taking care of what we already identified needs to be taken care of, and saying the things that need to be said. So we might silence ourselves once, and maybe we might do it again. And well, this time, I don't know, didn't seem like the right time, so I didn't quite say anything then. And before you know it, it becomes a habit. It becomes a pattern. And when we do that, we do several things. First of all, we don't give the other person indication, a real authentic indication of what we are thinking, feeling, experiencing, which means then we are acting in ways that are out of our integrity. So if integrity is important to you, when we silence ourselves, we're actually falling out of line with our integrity. What it also does is it creates messes that we have to clean up. You know, I ignored the fact that I was pushing it too hard, just like we can ignore the fact that we silence ourselves often when it comes to having a difficult conversation. And yet, sometimes that stuff catches up with us, and we have to then clean up the mess that comes afterwards. And that might be with therapy. It might mean having a really long, hard discussion that is a lot longer and a lot harder because we didn't say what needed to be said the first time. It could be just anything, all of those messes that come from us either silencing ourselves or just blasting our way through, trying to get it over with as quickly as possible, which is also another way that brings us out of alignment. But really, when we silence ourselves, I want to focus there for a moment. When we silence ourselves, we really are falling out of integrity, and we have messes that need to be cleaned up afterwards. And that will require, just like it did for me on Monday, for life to kind of stop us in our tracks, to bring us outside of our normal routine because we have this big problem to deal with. So when it comes to having difficult conversations, part of it is mustering the courage it takes to say the things that we need to say. And one of the things I talked about yesterday in the Having Difficult Conversations workshop is that we can speak with compassion, with heart. That's one way that we can speak. And at the same time, we can speak with clarity and directness. So we can do both. We can speak from the heart, and we can speak clearly and directly. If we're only speaking clearly and directly and there's no heart, then we have other messes to clean up. Messes of people being passive aggressive toward us, messes of people not liking us, messes of people Gossiping, those are those messes that come when we're being direct and there's no heart. And when there's all heart, then sometimes and no directness, then we clean up the messes of confusion. We clean up the messes of self-imploding. We clean up the messes that come because we haven't said all the things that need to be said. So I encourage you to, when you speak, you come with both. You come with your compassion and you come with your honesty. You come with your heart and you come with your hammer, your directness, that you come with both. When we are able to do that, when we are able to speak with both our heart and our directness, that's a gift that we not only give the other person because they now feel like, okay, this person cares and they have something to say that I need to listen to, but it also relieves us. It relieves us from things left unsaid. It relieves us from things left unspoken and the burden that it takes when we carry that with us. And it also relieves us, we sometimes think, oh, it's not the right time, but it's also not the right time when we have to practice the radical self-care, when we have to practice the reaching out for help, all of those other things that come when the mess gets messier. So yes, Libby, heart and hammer, that's what I talk about. We got to bring the heart and we got to bring the hammer. Both of those things combined. If it's too much hammer, then we dial it back and we bring that heart. If it's too much heart and people are getting lost or they're not taking the hint, then we need to bring a little hammer and dial that up. So hello, thank you all for joining me. I think I see, do I see Kara? I see Libby, and I think I see Chandra. Is that right? Anyway, I wish you all a wonderful week. I will see you next week at 3 o'clock. And I wish you a wonderful, beautiful week of living and learning. Take care. See you then.